Good morning, beautiful people. It is December 14th, 2018, and it's 10:10. I haven't done Fulfilling Life Friday on. Hey there. I haven't done Fulfilling Life Friday on or in the morning for a while, so it's good to do in the morning. So we are talking about showing them who you are. So, little background on me. I am an introvert. I consider myself to be introvert, but then I can also be an extrovert by choice and based on the people that I'm surrounded by. So if it's people that I'm comfortable with, people that know me very well, then I would say that I'm an extrovert. But most of the time, I'm an introvert, so that means I enjoy coming home by myself and being in my room and doing things to help me progress as an individual. And that includes me not wanting to go to a lot of social events sometimes. And it's completely okay to be an introvert, and it's also okay to be an extrovert as well if that's what you are. And so I just want to talk about being who you are, because I feel like when it comes to being in certain environments and being around certain people, we will change who we are to fit the interests or to fit the environment you're in, which means that you're not completely being who you are because you've tailored who you are to fit that person or to fit any situation that you're in. And so I really think this topic is important because it's important to be all that we are, including our quirks, including our flaws, including everything about us that is different, because we are all unique, and it's important to express that uniqueness to people in whatever form that is. So if you're an introvert, be an introvert, and it's okay to walk into an environment and be okay with just sitting back and observing. If you are a fellow introvert, you know that you are a very observant person, and the things that you say are not necessarily something that you want to do just to start a conversation. Like, I feel as an introvert, I say things with purpose. And so if I'm in a room and I choose to be quiet, it's a choice, then it's because I'm observing. And number two, because the things that I say, I want them to be of quality and of purpose. And so now I want to speak to the extroverts. If you notice someone who is an introvert in the room, then be conscious of it and be open to learning how to connect on their level, because it's often when you meet an introvert, you're saying, well, why are they so quiet? They're just antisocial. Like, no, that's not what the case is. The case is that is just who we are, and we are accepting who you are as well as being an extrovert. So I just feel like it's important that you are willing to accept people as they are, and also accept yourself and be willing to be whatever it is you are, whether it's introvert or extrovert. I also want to talk about the need to be subtle, and that goes back to the conversation we were just having about changing the way you are in order to fit the environment or the people that you're around. And so let me give you an example of how I wanted to be subtle this year. So in 2018, in May, there was a gala for the organization I work part-time for. And I spent days like looking for the dress that I wanted to wear to this gala, to the point where I was looking at these beautiful dresses, and then I was saying, wow, that looks like an awesome dress, but I think that's too much. That's not that kind of gala. And so I ended up going with this. It was a white dress with ruffles on it. The details don't matter, but I went with this dress because I felt it's not too much and it's just subtle enough. And I chose to be subtle at that event because I didn't want to stand out. And I think often we will do that, and we'll say, or the way we choose our direction in our life or make our decisions is based on us wanting to fit into someone else's mold, to shape ourselves to allow someone else to be comfortable. And so that's something I did, which I'm not proud of, and I decided not to do that again. So when the gala comes up next year, like, I'm not gonna be subtle. I'm gonna wear this dress, I'm gonna wear a gown. And so that's another point, is that you should choose not to be subtle. And I feel like being subtle and settling are two in the same. So if you're subtle, that means that you're settling for someone that you're not. You're settling for someone you're not. And if you're subtle, then you're being subtle about who you are. And I feel that's something we should all aspire not to do. Do not be subtle, do not settle. Because people need to know who you are, and that goes back to us being unique. We have all these unique qualities about ourselves, so why aren't you bringing that into the room? And why aren't you being that person when you step into the room? So yeah, I told the gala situation, that example, and then worrying about what people think, and so we're shaping the way we react to certain things, our responses and conversations to fit the perspective of someone else. Don't do that. Like, if you are a smart individual, do that. And I have another example. So I at one point was modeling, and I was doing this like lash commercial, whatever, and I was speaking about the benefits of this product, and I was using big words. And if you know me personally, that's how I speak. And so I was using these big words, and this lady who was the director, whatever her role was, she said, talk to them as if you're talking to your friend. And that was her way of saying to not use big words, to not sound intelligent. She didn't directly say that, but that's what my take on it was, is that me talking to my friend, I shouldn't use big words, but she didn't know that I usually use big words when I talk to my friends. So it was her saying that who you are is not appropriate for this situation. And so I challenge you to counteract any person's projection of that on you. So if a person is saying, wow, you came to this event and you're really dressed up, and I feel like you should own that. Like, yes, I am dressed up because this is what I want to wear. And if you show up in a room and you find out that your way of thinking is a little bit different than anyone else, then don't make it so that you are tailoring your conversation, tailoring how you react to certain situations, tailoring your personality to fit the interest of the other people in the room. Because once again, you're settling. You're being subtle to the point that you're not being your true self. And you should always try to be your true self. It's not about shaping yourself to be that person for someone else. It's about being all that you are and growing in that process of learning who you are so that you can continue to be present wherever you are. So yeah, that was my second point. My third point is being present in any room that you walk into, and not being present to the point where you're arrogant. Being present to the point where you are confident. And if you notice how people react to people that are arrogant, is that they're immediately repelled. And when you're in a room where someone is confident, then you most likely will gravitate towards them. And if for whatever reason you are repelled by someone who is confident, then maybe you need to do a heart check. Because if you're repelled by someone that's confident, you may be insecure, and that may be the reason that you are repelled by them. So we're all flawed. I've had to have heart checks at points as well. So I'm not going to say that it's just you. It's been me as well. So when you have those instances of realizing that you need to have a heart check, then find a way to help yourself get through that, and find a way to help yourself grow past it. If you notice things about yourself that aren't necessarily things that you like, you can always pivot and make ways or find ways to grow past it and to change. Because life is about always evolving. And so if you're in your mind, you have this idea of the person you want to be, and that's who you really are, then you should always be willing to evolve and change in order to become that person. And I'm not saying change to ultimately become someone that is totally not you, where you're putting on a mask each day. I'm talking about changing in the direction that you want to go. If you say you want to be a philanthropist, which is someone who donates large amounts of money and give money to different individuals, then begin to act in that way. Even if you have a small amount of money at this point, you can still give. Or if you say, I'm going to be a speaker, then start to act in ways that reflect what your goals are, what your intentions are, what the person that you see in your future, which is truly who you are. So begin to walk in the way that you see yourself. Be present in the room. Don't tailor yourself to fit the comfort level or the environment. Be present wherever you are and choose to be yourself in any situation. So that is Fulfilling Life Friday. Just wanted to jump on here and talk about showing them who you are. And so I am going to a holiday event this evening for the job that I work, nonprofit. I mean, the part-time job that I have. And I'm not going to be subtle. And that's another example, like going into work environment and feeling that you need to not share as much, or feeling that you need to be appropriate in the situation. Like, you can still be yourself and be in different environments, and still show them who you are, and still show your personality, whatever that personality looks like to you. And so yeah, that is Fulfilling Life Friday. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is pretty cold in the NorCal area, and it's supposed to rain in the city. I work in the city, and so I'll be heading that way in a couple hours. And so I will be providing my link for my YouTube channel, which I will be uploading. I've already uploaded a few of my Fulfilling Life Friday videos. And so if you don't catch it on the replay for Instagram, you can catch it on there. And I'll be adding that link to my link tree at some point. But anyways, as I always do, I want to speak blessings over your life. And remind you that your goals are just as important as the goals of the organizations and businesses you work for during the week. So that's my challenge for you, to jump on your goals this weekend, and to make your goals a priority. Like 15 minutes this weekend won't bother you to kind of just sit down and even write down your goals for 2019. Like, it is December 14th, which means we have like 17 days left at the end of before it's 2019. So I encourage you to write down your goals for 2019 and write down your desires. And maybe I'll do an IG live on why I have, since 2017, have written down my goals and my desires and how those have manifested. And it has been the best behavior or habit that I have adopted. So anyways, speaking blessings over your life, I want to speak blessings over your focus. Your focus on the goals that are just as important as the goals that you work on during the week for these businesses and organizations that you work for. Consistency. I want to speak consistency over your life, so that you're consistent in the goals that you are creating, consistent in following up on those goals, consistent on being self-accountable for those goals that you're establishing, and consistency with your friends and the things that you say. I also want to speak supernatural blessings over you and your goals. Because I feel like we all are deserving of blessings in our lives. But if you feel that you're not receiving those blessings, well, maybe you need to examine the things that you're saying. Maybe you need to examine your mindset. Because as I talked about in my last IG Live, is that your mindset is connected to the things that you receive. And so I want to speak blessings over you, blessings over your holiday season, your friends, your family, blessings over the things that you're building, because I'm all about building something, like building an empire, and not so you can sit on top of this empire and look down at people, but building your empire so that when you get to the point where you want to get to, that you are reaching out a hand to grab those people who were in your position when you're just starting out and say, hey, this is how I did it, and let's come together and let me help you figure out how to do it for you too. There's a quote that says, when you make it to the top, send the elevator back down so others can rise. So it's not about you sitting on your pedestal once you arrive at your destination. It's about you feeding into the lives of others once you get there so that they can get there too. This is not a competition. The only person you should be in competition with is yourself and your past self. And be in competition with the person that you were at the beginning of this year, because I hope that over the last 12 months you have been able to change and grow into the person and grow closer to that person you think of when you look into your head. That person that you see yourself being, that's who you are. So I hope that you continue to grow into being that person and changing in order to be that person and continue to grow. I also want to speak blessings over your what else should I speak blessings over? Your plans for 2019. I'm so excited about 2019 because I feel like with each year, I feel like my years get better. There's more favor, there's more blessings, and I'm so grateful for that, and I thank God for that. And so I speak blessings over 2019. I'm already projecting that out there, and I know that 2019 is going to be an amazing, favor-filled year for me, and I hope the same for you as well. And so that's why I'm speaking blessings over your 2019, even before it arrives. And finally, I just want to speak blessings over your weekend. May it be as blessed as you are. May you get as much rest as you need to, but also work on those goals. And also, just blessings over your mind, because mindset is everything. Don't let people speak negatively about you. Don't let people take control of your peace. Don't let people take your peace. I had a few instances this week where some people were trying to take my peace, and I had to sit back and say, nope, it's not gonna happen. So yeah, blessings over your weekend. And thank you for all of you who continue to support me, to watch these videos, to share my quotes, etc. Don't think that I don't see the things that you're doing too. And I'm so happy for you. And let me say this, even if we don't know each other, that I'm proud of you. Because I know I don't know you, but it's good to hear someone say that I am proud of you. I'm proud of what you're doing, and proud that you're still here to be able to manifest your dreams and work on your goals. So that is all for this Fulfilling Life Friday. I hope you have a great weekend and a great time with your family and work on those goals once again. And I will see you next time.